Alright guys, so into our introductions. First off, going to be spawning as our purple Zerg. We're going to have AI Forzen. His opponent going to be spawning as our blue Zerg. From Team Acer, we have Nurchio. So alright, here we go guys. Game number 1 underway of our best of 5 finals. Winner gets $50 and gets to advance on to the finals tournament this upcoming Sunday for the opportunity to take on Destiny from Team Quantic Gaming for the $250 bonus prize. So you can quite easily make this a $300 a week if you can go ahead and win one of the dailies and then go on to snap the neck of the pro. So I'll wait and see what these guys are going to do though for game number 1 here. See the gas first coming out of Nurchio, so already changing up his play a little bit compared to what he did in game number 1. Probably going to follow this up with a pool, I would imagine. Over here in the base of Forzen, actually don't see him dropping anything. It looks like he is going to go hatch first. There we go, hatch first going down here. Spawning pool already down for Nurchio, just doing the good old speedling first type of build. Just open 14-14 and then +1 attack speedlings. Apparently what Forzen does prefer. The sad face there by Nurchio. So Forzen right now has gone hatch first. Is going to put down his pool, not taking any gas, so trying to get a slightly faster pool there than if you go ahead and go for the extractor into pool versus going pool into extractor. So just a little bit of a rearrangement there to get his pool down just a teeny bit sooner than he would otherwise. Not going to matter that much though. Nurchio not going for any kind of a cheese pool type of play. Metabolic boost immediately getting started up here. Has pulled all of his drones off of gas, so not going to be going for any kind of quick banelings or anything like that. Definitely will be focusing on expanding behind getting this metabolic boost upgrade up. Meanwhile, over here in the base of Forzen, we see his pool just about to pop. Does have 3 harvesters here on his gas, but actually not going to quite have enough for metabolic boost right away. So his metabolic boost is definitely going to be quite significantly slower than, of course, Nurchio's is, which Nurchio might be able to use to his advantage. We'll have to wait and see. Definitely will have map control for a little while he does have his metabolic boost completed. Probably somewhere around the neighborhood of 30 seconds or so, depending on how clean, of course, Forzen is about getting his metabolic boost starting. That's actually pretty clean start timing, so be around 50, not even 30, 40 seconds, something like that, he'll have to actually be a little bit careful here against Nurchio. Nurchio now trying to move forward, put on a little bit of pressure. You see Nurchio does have his expansion up, has put drones back in gas, 3 harvesters going back in gas, so probably going to be going up to banelings sometime soon. Nurchio actually hiding back in the corner with these Zerglings, waiting right now for him to throw down the baneling, as I'm expecting him to once he hits about 50 gas here. At least that's what I would anticipate with throwing the 3 fast harvesters back in the gas, especially at this point in the game where he's going to have the slightly faster metabolic boost. Metabolic boost does finish up for Nurchio. Going to move in and try and abuse that to try and pick off a couple of drones here of Forzen income-wise right now. You can see right now Nurchio does have the advantage, 22-18. Picks off another harvester, 21-17 now, and Nurchio going to actually turn away for now, but basically without link speed for now. Forzen not going to be able to push out across the map just yet, but now the baneling nest is on the way here for Nurchio to follow this up. Metabolic boost finally just about to finish up here for Forzen. So he actually can start to move out across the map. Needs to be a little bit careful though. Needs to keep mindful of where Nurchio's Zerglings are on the map. Nurchio trying to get a baneling nest down, I think, before Forzen really can try and counter push him. But right now Nurchio actually in a pretty good position. 23 harvesters to 16. That's really what these early game battles are all about in a ZVZ. Not really so much trying to just outright win the game, but just getting those little tiny harvester advantages back and forth with your opponent leading up to a later stage of the game. Forzen really committing with a lot of Zerglings right now, trying to break into the front. Nurchio really needs to get one of these low queens out of here before they end up dying and get these banelings down. Could lose his expansion and does lose his expansion, but can Nurchio actually trap all these Zerglings and create a situation where he can easily counter into the main of Forzen, or will Forzen just do too much damage for Nurchio to where Nurchio cannot actually recover. You see Forzen actually just rallying Zerglings across the map like a madman. Basically has nothing over here at his main. Income-wise, Nurchio actually still way ahead of Forzen right now. 14 to 23 Harvesters. Do have some Spine Crawlers going down back here behind us, and a Roach Warren for Forzen to try and be able to defend. But really, actually, Nurchio's not in that bad of a position right now, despite what that looks like. 22 Harvesters to only 15. Yeah, he is having to reestablish his natural. But Forzen's going to actually have to build up a significant amount of drones before he's going to really have this game in hand against Nurchio. You can see Nurchio actually still ahead in supply, 35 compared to the 31 supply of his opponent. And Nurchio now retreating here, does have that Baneling Nest available if he needs it to build some Banelings against the Zerglings of his opponent. I actually see a couple of Banelings being morphed in over on Nurchio's side of the map. Or on his opponent's side of the map, I should say. So it looks like he's actually going to try and move forward. Could actually use these Banelings like a trap if the Lings actually run over these Banelings here. We'll have to wait and see. Is that what Nurchio's going to do? Try and sandwich these Zerglings? And yes, he is! Oh, boy. Forzen just barely gets out of there. But Nurchio is going to be trying to press forward. But now Forzen does have some Roaches out on the way. And Forzen should be relatively okay against these Banelings, so long as Nurchio defends this properly. Here comes the Banelings. We do see that Forzen is going to have to defend against these Banelings. Does manage to get most of them. Yes, does pick them off. Might lose a Queen. Going to be really close there. Nope, does manage to stop that attack entirely. And Forzen's actually in a pretty good spot. But now behind this, look at this. Nurchio back up to 25 Harvesters, 26 Harvesters compared to the 17 of Forzen. Forzen has invested so much in his defense and in attacking Nurchio that he's really not been in a great position economically speaking against Nurchio. Nurchio, despite the damage he's taken, has secured himself a 28 Harvester to 17 Harvester lead and is now trying to switch into Roach productions, but he's not going to have it quite ready just yet. We see, though, Forzen moving across the map with a couple of Roaches. Nurchio is going to have to defend against that. I'm not sure if Nurchio is aware that they're coming. I mean, he should know. One of his Overlords should have seen these Roaches coming, trying to build a couple of Zerglings and Banelings. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, to take out all of these Roaches, but here he goes, attacking in. Here comes the Banelings now. Needs to make sure he maximizes the surface area he hits with those Banelings. You now see him backing up, building a couple more Banelings. Here comes the Zerglings moving forward, and try and pick off a few of those Roaches. Does manage to get at least a couple of the Zerglings, and it looks like he will actually be able to hold this attack. That superior economy allowing him to just build so many Lings there at the last second that he's going to be able to overwhelm these Roaches that were pushing across the map. You actually see him streaming in one at a time now by Forzen, getting kind of sloppy by Forzen, and Nurchio is going to be able to essentially secure this game at this point in time. 28 Harvesters, 16 Harvesters, despite the fact that Forzen is not dead yet. He's going to be such an economic hole at this point that it's going to be almost impossible for him to actually catch up to Nurchio without catching Nurchio off guard with some kind of cheesy tech play or something. 33 Harvesters now, 17. And right now Nurchio has plenty of units to actually defend against anything that Forzen can do. Doesn't even have his lair started yet. Baneling Nest now on the way, but I mean, really has just expelled most of his available options. You see right now Nurchio just moving out across the map. Going to try and break this front here of his opponent. Nurchio, though, oh, did he actually not leave anything back here? No, just left a single Baneling back here. He needs to be careful. Oh, doesn't get as much use out of that Baneling as I think he would have liked to. And now has actually left himself a little bit more open to this counterattack by Forzen than he probably should have. Now see him actually retreating a lot of Zerglings. One Baneling hits and gets a couple of Zerglings, but he needs to be careful. Oh, actually gets a big Baneling hit there. Cleans up a lot of the Zerglings. Still 31 Harvesters compared to 17. And right now, Nurchio is still looking to be in a really good position. Forzen's trying to do his best to put as much pressure on Nurchio as he can. But I'm just not sure how he's going to actually come back and win this game. He hasn't been droning up at all the whole game. He's just been building Zerglings on and off with a handful of Roaches. And right now, income-wise, has been sitting on 17 forever. I mean, essentially, he's just trying to go 17 Harvesters into units until he can try and break Nurchio, but Nurchio has not been willing to break it. Nurchio even getting further ahead now. 40 Harvesters to 17 Harvesters is almost getting too ridiculous to even fathom at this point. So we do see that Nurchio is going to get this queen. There's the GG by Forzen, and Nurchio takes game number 1.